They're going to come up. They're going to do it.
We're going to do it all again.
No, no, you're fine. Yeah, turn them on. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very shortly, we're about to start. Once you hear the karanga, may I ask that we all be upstanding. Thank you. No.
Ke hāpai ngā kupu tuatahi ki te tāhuhu matapau. Kia hora tamarino, kia whakapapa paunamu te kārohirohi kia tere I runga I te tangata e takahi te nuku o te whenua. Tēnei te mihi atu ki ngā kai kauni hera hou o te kōpu mānia o kirikiri roa. Tēnei wāhi tapu o ngā mātua tūpuna, Ngāti Wairere, Ngāti Tamu Enupō, koe nei tāku e mihi ana ki a rātau. A hoki ana ngā whakaaro hoki kia kingi tū hei tia kohuri hia hei tirohanga kanohi ki ngā kāhui whetu. Hoki au ki mua, kei konei kei roto I te koa atu, I makanana e tohu mo te kingi. Katai ka haramai a hau ki te titiro, kei whē tērā tohu. E kore e tae te tohu ki te tū me te hikoe. Ngā waiwai o te o roto I te kauni hera e noho e neke tērā tohu. Nō reira ka tono au ki te rōpū nei, tiki nātu tērā tohu whakahoki a mai. Ko tahi te tohu ka reo I whakae ta mea I tū I reira o te tehi kaumātio kāri I haramai ki kirikiri roa. Kei te mohi o koutou ko wai tērā tohu. Nō reira e te whānau Gallagher, tēnei te mihi atu, kia koutou mō tērā tohu. Anei mātou o te mana whenua e mihi nei, kia koutou ki te manu kāhui o mua, Paula, kānui te mihi atu ki a koe mō te o tūranga, e āwhina I te taone nui o kirikiri roa, te kōpū māne tēnei te mihi, o te whare o nā wai hono ki te pō ki a koe. Nō reira, koe nei tō rātou rā, waiho tāku ka kupu ki te taha mō tēnei wā. Hori nō, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, ka hekea.
Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai hari mai, ko Lance Vervoort toka ingoa he tumu whakarai ahau. Atamaria everyone, I'm Lance Vervoort and it's my privilege as Chief Executive of Hamilton City Council to open and welcome you all to this inaugural council meeting of the 2025-28 term of the council. This includes the swearing in of newly elected Hamilton City Council members today. Give them all a clap. I'd like to say a warm welcome to our elected members and their families, their friends who have been able to join us to celebrate this special occasion. I know it's probably been a hard few months and it's great to see you all here today, and I even turned on the weather for you as well. I'd like to also formally welcome former Mayor Paula Southgate and husband Greg Forsyth. Great to see you here, Paula and Greg, for this occasion. Thank you very much for coming along. Also want to acknowledge former mayors, former elected members, Freedom of the City members, and also mana whenua as well for coming along today. I also want to a special acknowledgement to our council kaumātua Tami Pokaia. Our ceremony today will begin with the installation of our mayor and councillors. I have to say, I was asked by Mayor Tim just to mention that we haven't had a chance to practice this, so if a few things don't happen quite right, don't panic. It lets the bad spirits out anyway, so we're all good. Our mayor will be sworn in first, taking the oath and signing his declaration. There will then be the ceremonial passing of the mayoral chains, and then the mayor will make his first speech. Each councillor will then be called forward individually to read their oath, sign their declaration, which will be witnessed by Mayor Tim, and address you all with a short speech. Once all elected members have been sworn in, we will stand and sing the New Zealand National Anthem. Kaumātua Tami Pokaia will then close the ceremony. On completion of the ceremony, there's light refreshments for elected members and their invited guests as well, so you're welcome to join us. At approximately 2 p.m, the meeting will reconvene in the Council chamber to complete some initial matters of business that we have to do under the Local Government Act at our first meeting. On behalf of the executive team and all the staff of Hamilton City Council, and to be honest, the people of Hamilton, I would like to say a big congratulations and welcome to all our elected members, and we look forward to working with you over the next 3 years. It's going to be an interesting time. We've got some challenges, we've got lots of opportunities, and I think we'll be taking Hamilton forward. So look forward to working with you. Kia ora. I would now like to invite Mayor-elect Tim McIndoe to come forward to be installed as the Mayor of Hamilton City Council. Tim.
I, Timothy Harley McIndoe, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform, in the best interests of Hamilton City, the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. So we do?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Could I just invite former Mayor Paula Southgate to come up? She's going to do the official handover of the mayoral chains.
We said we hadn't had a rehearsal.
Greg, would you like to come up? And we also have chains for the mayoress as well. So Greg, if you can come up and hand those over, that'd be fantastic. Thank you. I'm now going to formally hand over to Mayor Tim to take over the meeting, and he's now going to swear in the rest of our elected members. Kia ora. You can say your speech? Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to check that I am supposed to deliver my speech first before I do that, and I understand I do. Tēnā tātou katoa ngā mihi nui kia koutou. Talo falava. Daja hao. Namaste. Warm greetings to you in whatever language and from wherever you hail, and good morning. As our Chief Executive has already said, welcome to our invited guests, including former Hamilton mayors and members of Parliament, former councillors, civic awards holders, Kaumatua and Mana Whenua representatives, community leaders and candidates. Welcome to whānau and friends of all our new and re-elected councillors. This is a proud moment for them as well, and no doubt, like me, they wish to thank all who have supported them through a long and demanding campaign in order to reach this outcome. And welcome to the members of the public who have chosen to be with us to witness this ceremony. I am deeply honoured and humbled to have been sworn in as your mayor this morning. I'm told it's many years since the swearing-in ceremony was held outside here in Civic Square, but I was eager to change that in order to symbolise the commitment I have made to improve our community engagement. I'm relieved that the weather is playing ball. I was in Wellington this time yesterday when it certainly wasn't. During the recent election campaign, some of us heard concerns expressed that we don't know who you are. We never see you except in the run-up to an election. And we don't think you really understand or care about our concerns and challenges. Perhaps those sentiments contributed to the disappointing voter turnout in the recent elections, although I think there were many contributing factors to that, and I hope my colleagues and I will be able to achieve some improvements before we go to the polls again in 2028. But I ask for the ceremony to be held in this civic square to symbolise my enthusiasm to ensure that we are more visible in the community, that we are not only seen attending important events, but also meeting with Hamiltonians in our libraries and their retirement villages, and in as many places as you live and work as possible. May I also warmly acknowledge our former Mayor Paula Southgate and thank her for being here, along with her deeply supportive husband and consort Greg Forsyth, from whom Anne and I have now received our mayoral chains. I have known Paula for more than 25 years, almost all of which she has spent in public service. Her commitment to local government has been inspiring, and I saw how hard she worked. Paula, on behalf of all Hamiltonians, thank you for your leadership, dedication and achievements. We wish you and Greg all the best for life after council. I know that you will still be visible and active in our community. Thank you, Chief Executive Lance Vervoort, and all our staff. Life tends to deliver more brickbats than bouquets. But let us today acknowledge the commitment, talent and service of all who work in this building to your right, and our many council venues and attractions throughout the city, such as our libraries, pools, parks and gardens, City Safe Museum and the zoo and more. We are well served by many very dedicated and capable people. And may I thank Leanne, Christine, Tash and Rochelle, four very special people in the Mayor's office, for making my first 11 days in the role enjoyable and productive. I also acknowledge candidates who were not successful, some of whom are here today, and former councillors Maxine Van Oosten and Louise Hutt, who served with considerable energy and enthusiasm. Election campaigns are challenging, expensive, and can be brutal. So it is very tough not only for the candidates who are unsuccessful, but also for those who are closest to them. I have now contested 11 elections, 9 parliamentary, 1 East Ward by-election, and most recently the Hamilton mayoralty. And I have known success and defeat in almost equal measure. Almost. So I understand your deep disappointment, but that is an inevitable downside for some of our democratic system, and we all thank you for the commitment you also showed in standing. Finally, may I acknowledge my wife, your new Mayoress, Anne, and our children and grandchildren who are sadly based overseas, but who followed the recent campaign with keen interest and considerable encouragement. Anne has now been a political widow for close to 20 years. Indeed longer, as I include some of those aforementioned unsuccessful campaigns that she also endured. About a year ago, my lovely, loyal and long-suffering wife suggested that it might be time for us to start thinking of easing up a bit and striving for a greater work-life balance with less of the work and more of the life. That sounds an appealing idea, I replied, but perhaps another one is that I could consider standing for the mayoralty of Hamilton. On her behalf, could I ask all my colleagues and staff to help me please to ensure that this role is not all work and no life? The election campaign highlighted the significant challenges we face as New Zealand's fastest growing city, with ageing and inadequate infrastructure, significant debt and a broken funding model that is an increasing problem for local government throughout New Zealand. I'm confident that all of your 15 newly elected representatives appreciate the important work ahead of us and our need to work collegially and with a determined focus to achieve the very best outcomes possible. As a former Member of Parliament, I appreciate being liberated from party politics. We are not Labour, National, Green or any other party's council representatives. We are all independent, proud Hamiltonians, and we can and must work cooperatively for the good of our city. This is something I will be stressing during my meetings with each councillor in the coming days. All have submitted to me confidentially and in writing their interests in different roles and their aspirations for the city. There will be no announcements until I have shown them all the respect they deserve of meeting with me privately to discuss those interests. I am committed to harnessing the talents of everyone to ensure that every member will find his or her service over the next 3 years fulfilling and have an opportunity to lead some important work in our city, be it progressing the restoration of Hamilton Lake's water quality, revitalising the CBD, parts of which are currently shabby, unsafe and uninviting, securing greater efficiencies through our procurement policies and implementation of more information technology, finding new sources of revenue for desirable projects without, I emphasise without, digging ever deeper into the pockets of our beleaguered ratepayers, and so on. I hope that every councillor will be visible in our community through our leadership in certain areas, our attendance at a range of local events, supporting our migrant communities, the arts, volunteers and so much more, while also being well prepared and effective governors in our council chamber. Today provides an opportunity for us to start afresh, putting aside any past divisions or failure to live up to the high standards and expectations that are expected by our residents and ratepayers. We share a common duty to govern responsibly, justly and with integrity. Those who preceded us have helped shape Hamilton over many years, and now it is our turn to build upon that legacy and to meet the responsibilities, challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As your Mayor, I aim to lead this Council towards delivering a financially strong city that delivers the core services well, while relieving pressure on ratepayers and continuing to invest wisely in the things that make Hamilton special and support economic growth. It's about striking the right balance between financial responsibility and long-term sustainable investment in our city's well-being and growth. However, I cannot do that alone. Harnessing the broad range of skills, experiences and perspectives around our council table will be essential to our success and will lead to better outcomes for this wonderful city. Each elected member brings unique passions and expertise and deserves the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to Hamilton's future. We will not agree on everything, and nor should we. That is the essence of democracy. What matters is that we work constructively and effectively together to make the best decisions in the interests of the people of Hamilton, both now and for future generations. Above all, our community must always remain at the heart of everything we do. I look forward to engaging with Hamiltonians across our city to ensure their voices are reflected in our decision-making. As your Mayor, I will do my best to lead by example, to set the highest professional and ethical standards, and to work assiduously to achieve the goals I campaigned on and our shared aspirations for the betterment of New Zealand's fastest-growing city. And I urge all councillors to make the same commitment. Let service be its own reward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your support and encouragement through being here today. Thank you for your service to the city that we all choose to call home, that we all love and that has so much to offer. Together we can set Hamilton up for long-term success. God bless you all. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. I will now call forward each of the councillors-elect to read their oaths and addresses to you all. Sorry, to read their oaths and then a brief opportunity, don't need to follow my lead, to address you all. These will be done in alphabetical order of surnames. So could I first of all invite Councillor-Elect Andrew Bidder to come forward, please.
I, Andrew Evan Richard Bidder, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. "70 years ago, my grandmother became the first woman elected to the Takaka Borough Council in the South Island. She got elected because she had a reputation for getting things done despite treading on the occasional toe. At a council meeting, in the middle of the meeting, there was suddenly a great clashing and clanging outside the chamber. The whole council rushed outside to see what calamity had befallen their town. Was it a riot, an earthquake, or something else? They came out to find the street empty and quiet, except for a cloud of dust. When this happened again at the very next council meeting, the mayor suspected something other than coincidence. He made discreet inquiries amongst the youth of the town and discovered, to no surprise, that the Bidder boys, my father and my uncles, were behind this. They too had a reputation for something, for irreverence. The mayor spotted an opportunity to embarrass the irritating and toe-crushing Councillor Bidder, and at the following meeting took the whole council out to the street and watched as the Bidder boys drove past with an iron gate chained to the back of their Model A Ford, and that this was causing the almighty disruption. And as they passed, the Mayor stood forward with his hand raised to stop them. Unbeknownst to him, that morning, one of the Bidder's friends, thinking that this was such a lark, had demanded his turn to drive. And the Mayor found himself stopping his own son behind the wheel. Now, I'm not sure of the moral of this story, but I do have two family reputations to uphold. My grandmother's reputation of getting stuff done and my father's reputation of irreverence. Thank you to everyone who has supported me for those two reasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bidder. Councillor-Elect Anna Casey-Cox, please.
Ko au Anna Casey-Cox, ko taku kupu tēnei, ka tūtuki I a hau, ki tāku I pono nei, nā kawina katoa, he painga mō te tauni o kirikiriroa, e runga I te mana kua riro mai I a hau, he mema o te kaunihira o kirikiriroa, e raro I te turi kawanatanga a rohe, rua manu mā rua, te turi pārunga, hui nā o kawa kawanatanga a rohe ko tahi mano iwa rau waru tekau mā whitu me I tahi atu turi rānei.
Bit of a strange. No, just.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Nā mihi tuatahi ki te atua nui I nā wā katoa, e mihi ana ki te araki nui kuini nā wai hono I te pō te tau te whiro te tuawaru, e mihi ana hoki te mana whenua o kirikiriroa, ko Ngāti Māhanga, ko Ngāti Taimanupō, ko Ngāti Wairere, ko Ngāti Haua, me Ngāti Koreki Kahukura hoki. E mihi ana kia koutou kua hui mai nei e tēnei rā ki te tautoko I te kaupapa. Thank you for being here today, everyone, and thank you Mātua Tame for opening our proceedings and our kaumātua. It's an honour and privilege to serve our city of Kirikiriroa. I acknowledge the mana whenua of this place and the deep history that grounds Kirikiriroa as a place of abundance, connection and belonging. This has been a very challenging election period. The process is built on competition. It can be intense and inevitably there are winners and losers. But now, as elected members, our shared responsibility is to restore balance, to build unity rather than division, and to uphold the collective good. Our city's Māori wards, Vote for Māori wards is a tohu of unity. But we must work hard to honour that, because only through unity can we achieve justice, equity and peace, and that gives me great hope. In a world that often emphasises competition and individual success, it's our families and our friends who steady us, who remind us of what truly matters. So I want to thank my family and friends here today for your unwavering support and encouragement. As we look ahead to the next years, there will no doubt be challenges and disagreements, but it's how we move through those moments with integrity, empathy and respect that will define our collective strength and character. Last night I listened to a talk by economist Shabmabeel Ekwab, who said that people need to participate in order to belong. And when they belong, they begin to see things as important. All of these things are connected. My focus for this term will be on unity, on community participation and belonging. Because when people feel they belong, they value one another, and they see our shared future as something important and worth working together for. Ngā mihi kia koutou katoa.
Thank you, Councillor Casey Cox. Could I call forward Councillor-Elect Maria Huata, please? If you'd read the declaration first, please, Maria.
Tēnā tātou. Ko aua Maria te aukaha Huata. Ko tāku kupu tēnei. Ka tutuki ia hau ki tāku e pono nei. Ngā kauenga katoa, hei paenga mo te taone o Kirikiriroa. I runga i te mana kua riro mai i au. Hei mema o te kaunihira o Kirikiriroa. I raro i te ture kāwanatanga ārohe. Rua mano mārua te ture pārongo huinga ōkawa kāwanatanga ārohe. Ko tahi mano iwarau waru tekau mā whitu me e tehi atu ture rānei. Korehi ana ngā manura runga mai, ia pirongi a te aroaro kahu. Piua o kumata ki ngā pai, maunga o ngā hakari mata. E tui tui ne ki te maunga o tau pirikua. Te rua koiwi o te mana o te tapu. O ngā mātua tūpuna e rere ne ko ngā wai. Tuku kiri o te awa nui o tai kehu. E uai te kōrero wai kato tani wharau. He piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha e hoki nei ma te awa ki te whenua mō mona o te kōpu mania o Kirikiriroa e. E te ti, e te tā, e mihi ana ki a koutou katoa. I hear the birds singing at top of my mountain, pirongi a te aroaro o kahu. My eyes gaze upon the hilltops of the Hakari Mata, and they continue on to the resting place of our ariki nui, of our ancestors, Taupiri. I continue along the pathway of our treasured river, our awa, te awa nui o Taikehu, where the saying, Waikato tani wharau, he piko he tani wha, was instituted. Waikato, a bend of many, many chiefs. I come back to our whenua, to our land that was fertile, te kōpū mania o Kirikiriroa, H-Town, all day, every day. Tērā te tehi kōrero nā te kingi tuarua a kingi tāwhia. Mākua nō tōku nei whare e hanga, ko ngā pau oroto, he māhoi, he patate. Ko te tāhuhu, he hīnau. Me whakatupu ki te hua o te rengarenga, me whakapakari ki te hua o te kawariki. Tērā nō oku nei hoa nō ngā tōpito katoa o te ao. He hūmeka, he kāmura, he prakimete. Ka hoki mai ki roto i ahau, ko te atua tōku piringa, kaputa, kaorai. That saying from the late Kingi Tāwhio, our second Māori king, speaks about building a house from materials that you would not traditionally use. The māhoi, the hino, the patate. It speaks about bringing together all of our different nations, ethnicities, backgrounds from across the world. No matter what you believe in or what you do, everyone has a place. It speaks about unity. It speaks about using the resource that we have. We don't need to have the mighty kauri or the mighty tōtara or the rimu. We can work with what we've got. To all of my fellow councillors, especially our former ones, and Mea Paula, me tō hoa rangatira, thank you for guiding us in this past term. Te koro matua hau, matua Timothy Harley McIntyre. What a groovy name.
I think so.
Korua ko tō hoa rangatira e tēnā koutou. To all of our staff, to all of our mana whenua that ensure that our backs are safe to do the work that we need to do. E mihi ana. Graham, Andrew, Leo, Jeff, Jamie, Takuhuanga Robbie, Mishwela, Sarah, Whaiasu, Takuhua Ena, Takurangatira, Ange, koutou katoa, nōku te whiwhi a kaimurira, ko Emma, ko Rachel. Tēnā koutou. We have a lot of work ahead of us. I want to leave us all with this kōrero that Queenie, Te Ariki Nui Queenie Ngā Waihono i te pō shared at her first coronation. Kia tino rangatira tangatia tō reo. Uphold your voice and your truth. Kia mana motu haketia te taio. Ensure that the environment is paramount. Kia tino rangatira tangatia tō hauora. Look after yourself, then we can look after everybody else. And the most important, mana motu haketia tō pā harakeke. Look after your children, your family, your mokopuna, all those people that you care about. Nā reira e te iwi, nōku te waimari e ki te tūkimui a koutou. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Hei whakakapi, if you would like to join in this waiata to wrap up our kōrero on this side, kia pēnei tātou, written by my grandfather, the canon Wi Te Tau Huata, pretty much my song campaign. Tu tira mai ngā iwi au e, tātou tātou e. Tu tira mai ngā iwi au e, tātou tātou e. Whaia te maramatanga, me te aroha, e ngā iwi kia tapatahi, kia kotahira. Tātou, tātou e whakamutunga. Tātou, tātou, purutia ki amo, hi au e hi. Tēnā tātou.
Ka pai kia ora, Councillor Hiwata. Could I now invite forward Councillor-Elect Rachel Corrales, please? Who is being accompanied by her family.
Awai pa ia le atu e ana le asu. pa ia le atua ana le mamata. Ore wheta lainga le maota, pai vali, ale tui manua. Whai mai. Le leua i fo manua. Ua mapu foi pale malama. Au le tala le tu langi lea. Whai mai. Ua wha, sue, whanga o nā. Ai whaae, whanga o mana. O nei tai au, ia vi ia le atua. E soi whamanuia, ma so mātou ona. Ao le aso, le wafi fio mai Samoa, le wafi fio mai Pasifika, pa ia le usonga, atu mua makule. Sei mo moli atu le afionga, le leo Pepe, Rachel Grace. O le paia leo Samoa. O le paia leo Pasifika. Paia leo le aina, a Satuala, Falfitu. Anofa, Falinofa, Itu aina. Leo Pepe, ia Manuelo no paina. Maua so manatu. Papo e boe le atua. On behalf of the Waikato Pacifica leaders here, it is an honor as chair and head of Waikato Samoa that I can stand here alongside the chair and head of Fiji, of the Cook Islands, of Tuvalu, of Kiribati, of Tonga. We have gathered here to deliver our Pacifica Councillor. There's a saying that if you want to go far, you go by yourself. But if you want to go further, you go with a team. The new mayor and the councillors, you are the team that will take us further. We look forward to the next 3 years for successful, healthy, and happy city. Ia manuia, no no fai inga leo Pepe,
I, Rachel Fortino Corrales, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Tā lofa lava, malo lava le soifua, maua malelangi e mama, malo lele, nisa bulavanaka, kia ora ana, whakalofalahi atu, Māori, nā noa ie, aloha, namaste, ni hao, warm greetings to everyone here this morning. One of the key insights from the last few months has been that there is a lot of pain in our communities, families and businesses struggling in a cost of living crisis. It's also clear that Council faces some very real challenges that require continued, thoughtful, informed and balanced decision making in the months and years ahead. This moment in time is critical. It is a critical opportunity to ensure Hamilton's family-friendly vibrancy and sustainability is built to endure for generations to come. It is therefore an absolute privilege and a responsibility to be entrusted with this role. I wish to acknowledge my Heavenly Father in all things, including this. I want to sincerely thank my community and supporters for making this possible. My heartfelt thanks to my husband Lincoln, my campaign manager Courtney Corrales, my policy and strategy advisor Goldie Feinberg-Daniele, my parents-in-law, our wider family and volunteers who gave their all in a short, sharp and purposeful campaign. It was a fruitful journey on so many levels. I also want to thank the Pacific community leaders who have attended today to acknowledge what they believe is the first elected member to Hamilton City Council of Pacific descent. This is one small step to a representation catch-up that we will continue to work towards through engagement, education and capability and capacity development in our various communities. The work continues. I believe God anoints and appoints, and my role now is to support wholeheartedly His worship, Mayor Tim McIndoe, and my elected member colleagues, as well as to serve our city to the best of my ability. And I look forward to doing these things and to building constructive, respectful relationships with my fellow councillors, relationships grounded in the exchange of ideas and real follow-through and outcomes for the betterment of Hamilton. In serving the city and all peoples, I remain committed to contributing to the things which were core to my campaign, including a clear plan for rates and debt reduction, bold and long-term planning for infrastructure and growth, improved transparency and accountability, and rebuilding the trust of our communities in local government. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa, ia soifua, ia manuia. Thank you.
Talofa, Councillor Corrales, and could I echo your words of appreciation to our Pacific leaders who are here today from the many different communities. This is an historic day, and it is one definitely to be celebrated. That was a beautiful welcome to our new councillor. Could I now invite forward, please, Councillor-Elect Leo Liu.
I, Leo Liu, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skills and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002. The Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Good morning, everyone. Standing here today as your newly elected councillor is both a great honor and a humbling experience. I want to start by sincerely thank the people of Hamilton for putting your trust in me. Every vote, every conversation, and every encouragement along the way reminded me that this role is about delivering service and make a change. Over the next 3 years, my focus is clear. As I have campaigned to restore trust, to ensure every dollar of ratepayers' money is spent wisely, and to create a city where families, businesses can strive. I believe good governance starts with listening to our residents, our builders, our business owners, and our young people, and making decisions that reflect the real needs, not bureaucracy. To my fellow councillors, I look forward to working together with openness and respect with each one of you. Together, we can make Hamilton not just a growing city, but a better city. Thank you again for this incredible privilege, and let's get to work.
Congratulations, Councillor Liu. And may I just acknowledge again that this is also an historic moment, although I'm sure that many of us who have been in Hamilton for a long time are thinking fondly at this moment of the late Councillor Philip Young and how proud he would be to see another Asian representative elected to our city. It is a great expression of our multicultural diversity, and I am personally very proud and supportive of it. Could I now invite forward Councillor-Elect Meshwela MacDonald, please.
I, Meshwela Kushela Harita Alexander MacDonald, Mesh, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities, and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Hello, everybody. It is an honour to be here today. It feels significant and it feels humbling. Standing here before you, I'm reminded of a moment in the early campaign period where I was approached by a lady from Pukere, Julie. She said to me, I am going to give you my vote. I hope you feel the pressure of that. I've thought about that moment many times over the last couple of months. I've thought about how that feels, about how that lands. It feels like trust, and it feels like hope. I'm mindful that every decision that is made within the walls of chambers affects lives, affects real people. They affect families. They affect businesses, pensioners, young people who are hoping to build their future here, and residents who want the city to work well and to be home. We have a lot of work ahead of us. There are many, many challenges for us to address. But I hope that along the path of building financial discipline, delivering core services well, that we can also build the civic city, build, maintain, extend the civic spirit of our city, to make this a place where we belong, to build our home. I'm looking forward to some robust debate. I'm looking forward to hearing what the different voices agree on. I'm looking forward to hearing the differences of opinion, the different perspectives that are brought in from our community to be represented, to be heard, to be considered. I'm looking forward to respectful disagreements, to building collectively something that is wonderful. I speak to the staff of Hamilton City Council, to our mana whenua, to every Hamiltonian who works to make our city work, who works to make our city wonderful. I want to give thanks to my family, to my friends, to everybody who supported what I stood for. I look forward to serving Hamilton, to serving all of you, with all of my heart, with all of my skill. Thank you for your trust.
Congratulations, Councillor MacDonald, and we look forward to that as well. Could I now invite, please, Councillor-Elect Graham Mead, who may be better known to you in years to come as Councillor Minty.
I, Graham Murray Mead, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me. Me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act of 1987 or any other act. This is an incredibly humbling moment that I've got to start by saying happy birthday to my wife who's sitting down there. She'll growl me for this, but without her beside me, there's no way I could have achieved what I wanted to achieve. She's put up with a lot over the last few months of me running a campaign and her putting up with all sorts of stuff. I want to start off by acknowledging Kamatua, the guardians of our city. Thank you so much. Lance and all the staff of Hamilton City Council, you have an unenviable job working for the public, and I thank you for the work you've done and the work you are doing. To our elected councillors, it's a new team, a new start and a new life for a lot of us, and a change in where we sit.
I have to acknowledge my grandfather, who was a Boer War veteran when I was about 12, told me, every day learn something new, otherwise you've wasted your day. And today's a day to learn something new. I want to acknowledge Mum and Dad. Dad, we grew up in Raglan, and Dad was a man who did community work. He did all the RSA welfare work. We visited all the marae and we took food parcels from the time I was about this big, killed sheep on the farm, mowed lawns, and Dad taught me that if you don't give to your community, you can expect nothing back. So today I give myself to my community. I hand myself over to Hamilton City Council, and most of all, it's a pleasure for me to stand here and think anything's possible if you want it badly enough. This is my home, this is my city, and I love it to bits. And it's time to give to my city. My sister's coming from Raglan, and her husband's a ward councillor in Raglan now, so we've got a bit to talk about. My friends that are here, you know who you are. The people I've worked with over the last few months. It's been a hell of a ride, but one I'm proud to have been on, and to the people I'm going to work with now. And I want to acknowledge Paula and Greg. Thank you, Paula. We'll never always agree on everything, but you did talk me into this, somewhere along the line, maybe. But thank you for what you've done for Hamilton. And I mean that with my heart. And everyone who's gone before her. Because we are just here for a short time. Hamilton will be here for a long time. Yes, and I am known as Minty. That's probably the best way to call me, but I answered just about anything. To everybody here, thank you for your votes, thank you for your confidence, and may I be the best possible councillor I can be for this wonderful city.
Congratulations, Councillor Mead, and a very happy birthday to Karen. I must admit, having to perform a civic duty on your birthday is something I've done to Anne many, many times, so I'm glad to get to share the honours. May I now invite forward, please, Councillor-Elect Sue Moroney.
I, Suzanne Mary Moroney, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Your Worship the Mayor, fellow elected councillors, ka mātua and koia, friends and whānau and residents of Hamilton. It really is, as many other councillors have said, a great honour to be elected to serve our community and our city. He aha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. What is the most important thing in our world? It is people. And I truly believe that if we put people at the heart of all we do, then we will get everything else right. Because yes, the economy is important insofar as it serves us all and insofar as it is sustainable. Because the economy is a human construct. We made it. We made it to serve us, not the other way around, although it sometimes feels like that. I want to thank my supporters and anyone who voted for me. I want to particularly thank my family. First of all, to our two boys, Quinn and Logan, who are in a land far, far away, but were very much part of this decision. To my husband Shane, who anyone who knows our journey will know that we're a complete and utter partnership. You pretty much get two for the price of one when I'm elected to public office. I want to thank my parents who have been very much informed my part of my journey. Really proud to have my almost 90-year-old mum here today, who will be really thrilled that I had to read out my full name earlier because she hardly ever gets to hear that. I want to also thank Community Law Centre's Aotearoa who honoured my what I called my inexplicable desire to stand again for public office. I do believe that we have a huge opportunity here in Kirikiriroa, Hamilton. We are a city that thrives on education, science and innovation. We're in one of the most productive parts of our country, and we've got this great opportunity. After all, we are the city that turned a rubbish dump into one of the most world-leading and beautiful gardens. And I think about the people who had that sort of vision many, many years ago. They were probably called dreamers at the time when they thought about the rubbish dump and turning that into something beautiful. These days they might have been called woke. By the way, I'm really happy to be called woke. The idea that I'm awake to ideas, progression and how decisions impact on other people is something that I wear as a badge of honour. They might have thought about things like, where would our rubbish go if we do this other thing, this beautiful thing? Where would our rubbish go? Well, not beside our most beautiful awa, for a start. They might have actually thought about they might have looked at the rubbish and seen how ugly it was, but there were people who were prepared to lift their sights above that and to make a decision that now is part of what defines our city. And I don't think that there was anyone now today who thinks that that was a wrong or bad decision. So my plea is that, like our forebears, all those who have gone before us, and I want to thank all those councillors, all those mayors, everyone who stood for public office now and before, because we owe it to them and to our community to lift our sights above the traffic cones and look to the city that we can truly have. Kia tātou katoa, ngā mihi nui.
Congratulations, Councillor Suzanne Mary Moroney, especially for her mother's benefit. And may I now invite forward, please, Councillor-Elect Robbie Niha.
Whanu, hara mai te toki. Haumi e, ui e, taiki.
Wau, ko rōpata tonga purutsu ringa tū neha tōku ingoa. Ko aku kupu tūturu ene. Ka whakapua ki au. Ki tāku e pono nei ngā kāwinga katoa. Hei paenga mo tēnei taone nui o Kirikiriroa. Ara ko te whenua tohu o te waka o taina. I rungi i te mana, ko riro mai au, hei kai kauni hira o Kirikiriroa. I raro i te ture ka wanatanga arohe, rua mano marua. I raro i te ture pārongo, huinga o kawa ka wanatanga arohe. Ko tahi mano, iwarau, waru te kau mā whitu. Me e tihi atu ture rānei. Whano, whano, haramai te toki. Haumi e hui e! Tui ai ki runga, tui ai ki raro, tui ai ki roto, tui ai ki waho. Tui ai te mukatanga te itaki a mai he waikino e waikiroa waiki pāmāmā. Tui ai te hone ki te wairua ki te whaiao, ki te ao marama, ti hei, Māori ora. Ko te mihi tuatahi ki te rongarawa, e tau toko ana ngā kōrero, ngā karangaranga o tā mātou matua, korokoro matua a pāpatame. Ko ia te tīmatanga me te whakamnguti o ngā mea katoa noerea, ka tia ke te me. Kia tauhi o na manaaki tangi rongi tā mātou ariki nui, ko kuini ngā wai hono i te pō, e noho ane i rongi tōna auare o tapu, o na mātua tūpuna o te whare kāhua riki, rire hau, pai māriri. E mihi atu ki a rātou kua wehe atu, oki ko tau ki poirau. Koutou, takoto mai. Moi mai koutou i roto i ngā parero a te atua. Moi mai koutou i roto i te rangi māri e. Moi mai, takoto mai, moi mai. E mihi atu nei ki a kuhuanga. Ki ngā airani o te Pasifika e mihi atu nei ki a koutou. Malo. Nau mahara mai whakatau mai ki te rānei o tō puti, o itihi o ngā rauranga tira, te wahine toa, kei te mihi atu ki a koutou. E oku tuakana, e oku tuahine, tēnā rā koutou. Koutou te mana whenua, e mihi atu nei ki a koutou huki. Ngā hapu hua, o te rohe nei, o Waikato, o Tainui, kei te mihi atu ki a koutou. I raro i te kārangaranga o te rānei, tēnā koutou. Much like my former councillors, I too want to talk about my whānau. I'm not here for me. I'm quite surprised I'm here. I met with, before I even thought to run, I met with my family. My wife Helen and I had a dinner at home. And as usual I said, hara mai ki te kaitai. They said, oh, what's wrong now? And I said to my wife, if there's one negative thing, I'm not doing this. And there wasn't anything negative, which is very unusual for my whānau. We have a large whānau of 7. So my wife said, well, I guess you've got the support of the whānau. My sisters are here, my older sisters. But I want to talk about my parents. He rā whakamaharatanga tēnei mo aku matua. My late mum and dad. My dad was a truck driver. He worked his entire life for New Zealand Electricity Department, the Hydro, now Electricorp, I guess, on Peach Grove Road. Our mother was a cleaner. We cleaned our school to feed us lessons. They were very humble people, very humble. And what I want to share is that we all work because those were the lessons that our mum and dad did. But what they really taught us, we never received any hereditary whenua, any hereditary money. We got hereditary aroha. Our mum and dad, their entire lives, served their community. Our schools, our sports clubs, our community clubs, our whare. And that's what we learned. My brother and sister still work at our old college that they left 30, 40 years ago. We still serve our community. And I want to share with you all today that that is exactly what I bring to this role. Serving our community, serving our city, and serving all residents, from the wealthy to the homeless. All residents, not only ratepayers, all residents who live in our beautiful city. Urira, koera aku kōrero ki a koutou. Kore kau e kumero a te kōrero. Kore kau te kōrero mai au, kuau. Koera ngā mihi atu ki a koutou. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Haru mai. te whakapono, me te rangima, i e tātou tātou e. Te whakapono, me te rangima, i e tātou tātou e. Not bad for a wife who was born and bred in Nelson whakatū. Koe ngā mihi ats ki a koe hoki e te tā. E my darling, thank you. I would never have done this without my wife. And I know that she will be by my side, the boss in my ear, this entire term for 3 years. Thank you, my sweetie. I love you. Oh, and my sister just said, yeah, I love you too. And my cousin Karen, tēnā koe kas. Tōrira, ka whitio no tātou hono. Rātou te honga mati ki a rātou. E mihi atu ki a Ngāti Tūwhare toa. Kua hinga tītihi o ngā tōtara o te Waonui o tāni. Ki te whare hiu. E mihi atu nei ki a rātou. Moi mai koutou i roti ngā parero te atua. Moi mai koutou i roti te rangi Māori. Koutou ngā matinga o te motu, ngā pare kawa, e mihi atu moi mai rā. Ka whitio no tātou hono tātou, te ngōri e tātou. Te mea, Lance te sihi, koutou ngā kaumahi hoki o te kaunihira, akuranga tira, e mihi atu nei ki a koutou, tēnā koutou, katoa, ka mu.
Kia ora, Councillor Neha. Tēnā pai. You may find that there will be several bosses in your ears over the next 3 years, but always remember that your darling is the most important one. Could I please invite forward now Councillor-Elect Angela O'Leary.
Reading glasses. I, Angela O'Leary, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. The alphabet seems quite long, doesn't it? There's still a few of us to go. E nā rangatira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. E te whare, e te papa, tēnā korua. E ngā mate o te wā, haere, haere, haere atuara. E mihi ana ki te kaupapa o te rā. It's a privilege to stand here once again and take the oath for office for another term serving the people of Hamilton, a city that I have lived in for a very long time and love. And I want to shout out, just as Sue did to my mum, who's not quite 90, but 82, who's in the audience. This marks the start of my 7th term in office. Through my time, I've worked alongside 4 mayors, dozens of councillors who have come and gone, and countless staff who served this city with heart. And every new council comes with the same energy, the sense that it's time to fix everything that came before. And that burst of enthusiasm is good, we need it. But experience teaches you that running a city isn't a slogan. It's complex, it's serious, and it's very, very hard work. The moment the real business begins, most realise just how immense that responsibility is. And through all my time as an elected representative, one thing has never changed. The people of Hamilton Kirikiriroa expect their council to work for them, not against each other. Local government has always been challenging. It's the front line of democracy. And this term quite possibly will be the most challenging of them all, as we face significant change in the services that we deliver to our people. But challenge is not the enemy, division is. Around the table we will disagree, and we should. That's how good decisions are tested. But it's how we disagree that will define the kind of council that we are. I've learned that leadership isn't about who talks the loudest, it's about who listens the hardest. And experience doesn't mean resisting change, it means helping shape it wisely. So to my new colleagues, to my new and old colleagues, I offer this. We don't have to be friends, but we do have to be fair. We don't have to agree, but we do have to act with respect. Because when we forget that, the city loses faith in all of us. I'm proud of what Hamilton has become as a city. I'm proud of the significant community connections and relationships that I've formed over my 18 years in office, both within this building and outside in the community, and it's not something I take for granted. I want to thank everyone who has supported me over the 18 years, and in particular this term. On the national stage, I've always described Hamilton as a city of people that quietly go about being brilliant. From our creative arts sector to our community organisations, to the residents who rely on us day to day to deliver the services that we do. We are a young, confident city that keeps growing, not just in size, but in heart. So let's make this new term, this next term, one that we can all be proud of. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Thank you, Councillor O'Leary, who I now acknowledge as our longest-serving current councillor, and I deeply appreciate those very wise words of advice you have shared with all of us. May I now invite forward, please, Councillor-Elect Emma Pike.
I, Emma Jane Pike, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Ko au Emma Jane Pike, ko taku kupu tēnei, ka tutuku I ahau ki taku e ponu nei, ngā kawanga katoa, he paenga mō te tauna o Kirikiriroa, e runga I te mana kua rero mai I ahau, hei mima o te kaunahira o Kirikiriroa, e raro I te ture kawanatanga o rohi rua mano mā rua, te turi paronga hunga o kawa kawanatanga a rohi, ko tahi mano iwarau, waru te kaumat whitu, me I tahu atu ture rānei. Tēnā koutou katoa. Standing here as a re-elected councillor for Hamilton West is an incredible honour. I am deeply grateful to our community for your trust and confidence and for the chance to continue serving for our city. I want to acknowledge a mihi to our kaumātua tame and our mana whenua for your leadership and guidance always and today. To my family, friends, campaign team, volunteers and everyone who supported me along the way and entrusted me with your vote, thank you. Your encouragement, time and belief made all the difference and I'm truly humbled by it. The next few years will be challenging. We're facing tough economic times, rapid growth, and the need to make careful, often difficult decisions about how we balance our different priorities and live within our means. But I believe those challenges also bring opportunities. An opportunity to work smarter, listen more closely, and strengthen our connection with the diverse people we serve. As I begin this new term, my commitment remains the same: to approach this role with integrity, fairness, and a strong responsibility to the people of our city. I'm proud to serve alongside our Mayor, Tim, and my fellow councillors, and I look forward to working respectfully and constructively together to make Hamilton Kirikiriroa a city that continues to grow with care, purpose, and community at its heart. Thank you again for this privilege. Ngā mihi nui, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Congratulations, Councillor Pike. May I now invite forward Councillor-Elect Jamie Strange.
I, Jamie Ross Strange, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Kia ora koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui. I'd like to first of all acknowledge God, our Father in heaven, without whom nothing is possible. I'd like to thank all of the Hamiltonians who put their faith in me, and I look forward to serving our city to the best of my abilities. I'd also like to acknowledge Mayor Tim and the councillors, and I look forward to working collaboratively and constructively with all of you. I acknowledge our tangata whenua and acknowledge your leadership as well. I'm looking forward to the next 3 years serving our city. To my family and my wife Angela and our children who are here today, thank you for your support over many, many years. To my children, Dad's getting back into politics after a brief hiatus, but I promise you I will not have a large airbrushed photo of myself on the side of our family vehicle. So you can relax. You can relax. To my mentor, Martin Gallagher, I acknowledge your support over many, many years, and thank you for your service to our city. I'd like to also acknowledge some students who are here with us today from Hamilton Christian School, where I'm currently teaching. And I'd like to just build on that, speaking to all of the young people who are here, and acknowledging all of the young people in our city. Now that I am youth adjacent, I'd like to encourage you that you are a leader in our city. Don't wait until you get older and think that you can't be a leader now, but you be a leader. Young people, we need to hear your voice. We want to hear your voice. And we want to work with you in terms of our city. Anything is possible. And I want you to think about my grandfather, who was born and lived his whole life in a small town called Collingwood, at the top of the North Island, very small town. South Island, not the top of South Island. And he became president of the New Zealand Rugby Union in 1984 from that small town. And actually, I believe he had the biggest dairy farm in the South Island. So young people, if you put yourself forward and you start being a leader, anything is possible. I'd like to segue to my grandmother and talk about community briefly. One of the greatest things I ever did was I interviewed my grandmother before she passed away, and I got 10 hours of footage from her life, and there was one story that really stuck with me. And she said that growing up, basically leading a dairy farm in the 1950s, before refrigeration came into New Zealand, what would happen is one farmer would kill an animal, and they would share it around all the farmers. When it was haymaking time, they would all come together and they'd all work together. If someone went fishing, my grandfather used to go fishing and hang a fish on the gate of all of the farmers on the way home, or all of the house on the way home. But then when refrigeration came in, people would kill their own animal and put their own animal in their own freezer. And she said it was quite sad, because basically what happened was people started to lose that sense of community. Because back in those days, you needed community to survive. These days, you probably can survive to a point without community, but you definitely can't thrive without community. And we want a thriving city. And it's important that we work together for the people in our community. I'm passionate about economic development. I'm passionate about supporting our businesses. And I'm particularly passionate about supporting our community. And I'll finish with a story. Recently, I overheard, they didn't know I was listening, but I overheard two CEOs in our city, CEOs of large businesses, you would know the businesses, and they were both attempting to get a contract. So they both tendered for a contract. And it was interesting hearing them talk, because one of the CEOs just said to the other one, he said, well, look, it doesn't really matter who gets the contract, because all the money is going back to the community anyway. And I think it's important for us to keep that at the heart of everything we do, that everything we do is for our community. Ngā mihi nui. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Councillor Strange. May I now invite forward Councillor-Elect Jeff Taylor.
I, Jeff Peter Taylor, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform, in the best interest of Hamilton City, the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Tēnā koutou katoa. I'd like to acknowledge Kamatua, Mana Whenua, His Worship Mayor Tim McIndoe, Mayoress Anne, Council CEO Lance Vervoort and Council staff, elected members and elected members' family and friends. You have sat in the sun and listened to 14 speeches so I will not hit you with a long one. Before I start, I do want to acknowledge there's some rock stars here today, and that's the members of the governance and electoral staff who for the last 2 weeks have worked weekends and nights meeting really tough deadlines to count the votes so that we could have certainty over our futures as elected members. I just want to congratulate you and thank you for that. I'm delighted to be here starting my 4th term, not quite as old as Angela. Sorry, not old. No. Under Tim McIndoe, who I strongly supported during the campaign and I congratulate today. Tim ran a typically hard-working campaign and I know firsthand that he campaigned himself to a standstill. And that is the sort of spirit that you're going to get from our new mayor serving the city over the next 3 years. I'd like to acknowledge Sarah Thompson, who ran a very strong mayoral campaign. I have a great deal of respect for Councillor Thompson and I look forward to working with you, Sarah, in the next 3 years. I want to acknowledge the returning councillors. Well done. We sat there in the last council meeting of the term and looked at each other and we said we might see each other on the other side because you never quite know. Most of us have got back. I want to particularly acknowledge the new members of our team, and there are a few. Leo Liu, Rachel Corrales, Graham Mead, Mesh McDonald, Sue Moroney, Robbie Neha and Jamie Strange. Congratulations and welcome. And I look forward to playing a little part in helping you in the new environment, and I look forward to learning from you as well. Because I think whatever our political stripe, I totally agree that we should be trying to work in the best interests of the city. And I'm sure that will happen with Tim, because he will run an inclusive council. He will find our strengths and our passions, and he will meld together a great team. On a personal note, I'm really thrilled and humbled by the result in Hamilton West. Sort of reinforces the faith in yourself during the tough times, and it's heartening to know I still have that level of support out there, and I will not let the voters down. Lastly, a profound thank you to my family, to my incredibly amazing, selfless wife, Julie, who always tries to make my dreams come true and has stood beside me through all sorts of ventures and has stood beside me through the 4 election campaigns. And I want to thank all the other members of my family for being here today to celebrate this moment with me. Without you, none of this means anything. Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you, Councillor Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the home straight, but last, certainly not least, may I invite forward Councillor-Elect Sarah Thompson.
I, Sarah Lorraine Thompson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Hamilton City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Hamilton City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Kia ora tātou katoa. Wonderful to be here and it's wonderful to be back. I want to acknowledge ko mātua tame, mana whenua here today, amazing staff. I was so happy to walk through the building yesterday and see so many of you. It brings great joy to know that I'll be working with all of you for another 3 years. I want to acknowledge everyone who's here and has waited to the last name in the alphabet. Thank you. It's my first time being last on the list. I want to acknowledge those who did not return either through standing down or through not making it through the election process, and thank them for the extremely hard work over the last 3 to 6 years or longer. Mayor Paula, thank you for your leadership in the last term. And congratulations to all of those councillors who have been elected. Welcome. I have to say, in past swearing-in ceremonies, I said this was the best job in the world. And I still stand by it. I love this job. I sent him a 4-page expression of interest for jobs, so my enthusiasm has not waned. But it also is probably the worst job application process in the world. So congratulations for making it through. And I hope you all had some time to rest and recover, because the hard work is only just beginning. I was grateful to get a little bit of time in my garden, which was pictured in the Waikato Times recently. I have to admit, though, it was slightly false advertising, the picture of me mowing the lawns. I did not mow the lawns for 6 months with a very busy campaign, but it is fantastic to finally get a little bit of time back to do the things that we love before getting back into the mahi. I want to acknowledge everyone who's supported me throughout the campaign, because no one can do it alone. Thank you, and thank you to my family and to my husband. On a very serious note, I want to say this is going to be a tough term. We have huge challenges ahead of us, the council and a city. And I look forward to working with all of you in a way where we strive for unity. It's hard. It means approaching the job with huge humility and being able to put aside ourselves in the job to work together for the best decisions for the city. So I also want to extend a warm welcome to any new elected members. Bunty did the same 6 years ago. He said, anyone new, come to me, ask me questions, I will be there, and I want to do the same. It's hard when you come in first time round. It takes time to actually work out how to get things done, who to go to ask questions. And I want to help anyone who wants to ask, because actually we need to work together as a team. And I remember hitting my head against a wall many times in the first year of my term, hitting many roadblocks and hitting many walls. And I would also get told off quite a lot. Whenever former Mayor Paula called me, I knew there was something that I'd done wrong. So I do want to offer that help. And that is it. Congratulations to Tim. I want to thank you and thank the other mayoral candidates for a respectful campaign. I think it demonstrated what politics should be, where we work with integrity to put out ideas, to put ourselves and our best foot forward, but we do so in a way where people can have trust in elected members, and that we need to respect each other, and I think that was shown throughout that whole campaign. Thank you. Kia ora.
Congratulations, Councillor Thompson, and may I echo all of your words, but particularly my appreciation of what a very respectful, spirited campaign it was, I think in the very best style of democracy one could have wished for. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join me again, please, in welcoming all of your new elected members of Hamilton City Council. I was so pleased that many of my colleagues thanked and acknowledged the many staff who are here today. I would imagine that some of them are a little bit perturbed that not one of us followed the guidelines we were given for sticking to time. Not one of us. So that may alarm you a little bit about the next 3 years, but look on the bright side, we can only improve. I thought those were 14 outstanding speeches and deeply encouraging for the commitment the experience, the determination and the diversity that we will all bring to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you now please to be upstanding for the singing of the New Zealand National Anthem. Thank you. Please be seated, but only for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony here today. I'm absolutely delighted that the initiative of bringing the ceremony to the public has been so well supported. And it's been wonderful to see members of the public just passing through, stopping for a moment, observing what has been going on, and to have so many of you also joining us. Thank you for that. As I said in my opening remarks, please ensure that this becomes the norm, where we come to you as much as possible and you feel that you can engage with all of your elected representatives. I want to thank in particular the friends and family who have gathered here today to show their support for the members of their families on this very significant occasion. As has already been mentioned by the Chief Executive, the Council meeting will reconvene at approximately 2 p.m. in the Council chamber to complete some of the required initial matters of business as required under the Local Government Act. But now may I please invite our Kaumatua Tame Pokaia to close our ceremony, and in doing so may I acknowledge, Tame, your recent academic achievement and congratulate you warmly on that. Would you please stand?
I runga I tēnei kaupapa, ko tō te rā. Engari kei te whiti mai te rā apōpō mō e te hi atu kaupapa. The light may settle on this ceremony, but it will rise tomorrow for a new day and for new kaupapa. E whakairi ngā ki te kōrero ki te pakitara o te whare, hei apōpō ka toru atu ngā ringaringa oroto, ka tiki nātu he hata mahi mo te tangata, I ho mai e te kaihanga o te rangi o tātou. When you put that your kete and hang it up, tomorrow you take that kete off the wall, and I've said many times, even when Paula hears me speak, you place your hand in and you see what the Creator has written for you to do for the community. And there's a lot of things the Creator doesn't talk about that community, what to do. And we've got to be cautious when we're members of the council, when we look after the community. And nō reira e tātua arahi mātou I rungi te tika me te pono, ko koe tau mātou piringa, ko koe tau mātou amorangi, anei mātou katoa e whakawhetai atu kia koe I rungi te ingoa tau mātou kei whakaora, mā ake ake, āmene. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving inside in a few moments for some refreshments. I will ask our Kaumatua Tame Pokaia please to bless the kai. And as soon as he has done so, could I ask all of the new councillors to gather in front of the steps here for our first photo together. Wherever you tell me to.
Yeah.
Tell your husband, Kathy.
Thank you.